So, of course, with Supergirl being on the next one out in the DCU, I myself was curious. I know the movie is called Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, right? Which is based off of a comic book, right? But are they going to adopt the comic story? Well, based on a new report here, we actually got our first synopsis for what Supergirl and what confronts her origins to find her path as a hero. So let's dive into this. I thought this was really interesting, especially for DC fans out there. What are we going to expect from Supergirl? We got a teaser trailer just a few days ago from the CCXP down in Brazil. We should be, getting a trailer any moment now. But based on this report here, it says the first teaser trailer for Supergirl will release this week. And while we don't have a specific date on time, Thursday is looking increasingly likely, which may be the same day we get the first look at Avengers Doomsday. Hey, stay tuned. We are going to talk some Avengers Doomsday today. So, a lot of stuff unpacked here for Avengers Doomsday. So I'm going to definitely dive into that. But we're going to talk about Supergirl here first. So Thursday, so that's a couple days from now. I suspected that any day now we're going to be getting that trailer. But a description of the footage first shown to select members of the press on Sunday have already circulated online. But we now have a synopsis for the movie. It's really a few key details, including Kara Zor-El being forced into playing the hero, and a hint that we'll learn more about the Woman of Tomorrow's past on Krypton. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, in Woman of Tomorrow, the comic, literally, she watched her family be killed, her planet be destroyed, and also losing her cousin, which is, of course, Superman. Now, I don't know how they're going to spin it in this go around because she's older than Superman in the comics. She was a teenager when that happened, so I'm not sure how they're going to either explain that or differentiate that from what we're from the comic there. So here we go, guys. It says DC Studios Supergirl hits theaters this Sunday, starring Millie Alcott as Kara Zor-El / Supergirl, reveals a synopsis first shown by Featured First. When an unexpected, ruthless enemy threatens, Kara Zor-El is forced against her will to team up with an unlikely ally. Together, they embark on an epic cosmic journey where revenge and justice are at stake, and where Kara must confront her origins to find her own path as a hero. Alcott is joined by Matthias Schoenert, Eva Ridley, David Krumholtz, Emily Beecham, and Jason Momoa in key roles. Peter Safran and James Gunn are producing the film for DC Studios. And by the way, just throw an extra in there, it is directed by Craig Gillespie. But as it goes on here, over the summer, James Gunn also elaborated, said she's a mess. She's a total mess. I think we learned she had a completely different background from Superman, a much more difficult background. So I think it's going to be really interesting. And now, who's that unlikely foe? Something they got, or unlikely companion. Is that Lobos? I don't know. I think Lobos plays a part in it, but I don't think that's who they're talking about. I believe they're going to be talking about this girl she finds or rescues or something along that lines. So that's our first synopsis there. So just to go over it again, it says, when an unexpected and ruthless enemy threatens, Kara Zor-El is forced against her will to team up with an unlikely companion. Together, they embark on an epic cosmic journey where revenge and justice are at stake, and where Kara must confront her origins to find her own path as a hero. Alcott is joined by, of course, said cast. To find her own path as a hero. And so she's confronted. So we're going to dive back into maybe what she knows of Krypton, what happened, things like that, and must deal with that. Maybe they can explain to her agent differently of her being in space or in another planet or however they're going to explain it. But I am feeling very much we are going to be getting a Guardians of the Galaxy esque type of look aesthetic to what it's going to be, and I'm excited for it. I don't have. Let's check it out here. Let's see if we can find them online. But I saw something briefly where it was they were showing Supergirl like shoot like stuff for the set and things like that. And I mean, it looked very much Guardians of the Galaxy esque for sure. So let's check it out. Let's see here. So we got to look at the costume, which is pretty cool. So it's the costume differentiates a little bit from what we got from Superman. So that's interesting. But they let's see. Let's go look. Let's look online here and see what we can find. I think I might be able to find something on YouTube or something on Reddit. That's IMDb. But yeah, so I mean, some of the things that I saw, I thought were really interesting. I saw them on like a short or something. Um, but besides the point there, it looks very much like Guardians of the Galaxy. And you know what, man, I'm down for that. Guardians of the Galaxy was peak Marvel, 100% peak Marvel. Especially Guardians 1, but Guardians 3 even was one of the better Marvel films that's been done in the last 5 years, like seriously, or since Endgame. How long has that been? So I'm really excited, man. I really expect good things out of this. I know you see some people across YouTube and people talking about, and they're just, oh, this movie is, I don't expect anything out of this or the DCU, man. Come on, man. We got some good stuff going on here, man. DCU is bringing us a connected, well crafted story, man. Nothing compared to what Snyder was giving us, man. Everything was just on a whim, done this, done that, and it was so interconnectivity issues, man. It was too many hands in the cookie jar. We got a plan. There's a plan here with the DCU, and I'm excited for Supergirl, man. I'm very excited. So when the trailer drops, you already know I'm going to be reacting to it, and I'm going to be breaking it down. Just kind of giving my little analysis on what to expect from the film, man, and just what we got from the show or from the trailer. So pretty cool stuff. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you excited? Are you excited for Supergirl? What do you think about her outfit? What do you think about just the plot in general? Let me hear your guys' thoughts below. To talk a little bit of Avengers Doomsday. All right, so we know that a trailer's coming soon, right? But we're getting more and more details about what to expect from Avengers Doomsday. Currently as we know it, it's we have Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Iron Man. Where does that lead us, right? Does that have something to tie in with Iron Man? Does it have something to tie in with Captain America and what happened at the end of Endgame? Or I mean, what are some of the contradicting plots that have happened that got us to the point to where we are now at when it comes to Avengers Doomsday? And what to expect from a plot point. But as rumors have came out, it looks like Avengers Doomsday will actually be a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame. Well, how does that work out? We've got a whole slew of movies and TV shows and all these different things that have came out in the last, let's just say, now 7 years, 8 years? How is that going to work? How is it going to lead directly from Endgame and go into, what is Doomsday with all this stuff already transpiring? Wednesday is going to be a direct sequel. Well, based on this article here, and this is actually from Yahoo Entertainment, it says here, it says Avengers Doomsday will actually make blank MCU's movie's main focus alongside RDJ, which is his Doctor Doom. Well, according to a new rumor, a fan favorite MC character will be the main focus of Avengers Doomsday alongside Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Of course, we know that the film is currently in post production, but who is this rumored individual? Well, according to Scooper, to Scooper My Time to Shine Hello, the main focus of Avengers Doomsday, besides Doctor Doom, will be Chris Evans, Steve Rogers. RDJ and Evans weren't even going to be a part of the Kang Dynasty, and now they're only back and will be the main focus of Doomsday. The post, which is responded to a Twitter comment for saying they heard Doomsday is mostly Doom versus Steve. Marvel really needs to let go of the past and move on. Well, that's of course based on this article here. Now, this is just a rumor at the time, and such to be treated as such. There's conflicting reports of whether Irvin will appear in Avengers Doomsday as Captain America, Nomad, or other characters, though Marvel has not confirmed his casting at this point. If he is truly in this film, it's unclear how big of a role he is actually going to play. Will it be a Doom versus Steve? So, with that being said, that is really the only logical sense, right? Is that if it's going to be a direct sequel to Endgame, that it's actually going to have to be from what happened in Endgame. Well, what is something that happened at the end of Endgame? And that's when Steve decided to stay in the past, and he actually lived a wonderful life with Peggy Carter. A little selfish act, I guess you can say, from Rogers' part at the end. However, at the time, nobody looked like nothing of it, but apparently it's going to have ultimate ramifications for what he did, and that's going to play a huge part in Doomsday, which that's got me excited, man. That's got me really excited for what's going to happen here in Doomsday. It's going to be just straight up fanfare. It's going to be straight up everything that we geek about. Marvel's going to give it to us, Now, will it overall as a plot, it as a big picture, is it going to work, or is it just going to be straight up fan service? Either way, we're going to be finding out next year. But I'm really curious to see how they're going to do it. There wasn't a lot of built up. There wasn't a lot of, how can you say, the story just didn't set up for Doctor Doom until the very end of Fantastic Four. And that was in that brief moment. And then there was a brief hint for potential Doctor Doom to appear. But his seat was empty at the meeting with all the countries, whatever the hell you call United Nations. So it's really interesting to see them do this. I'm excited for it, though, man. And I'm excited for Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. I think he's going to be straight up fantastic. Is he going to be Victor Von Doom? Is he going to be a variant of Tony Stark of sorts? I'm really curious to see how they do it, man. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this is a good idea to go with a plot for Doomsday, just to lead up straight up from what happened with Captain America at the end of Endgame? Do you think this is a good idea? I want to hear your guys' thoughts, man. Definitely chime in. And of course, like the video. If you haven't got a chance to subscribe either, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate all the love. But continue to stay tuned for